Now that the CAT results are beginning to trickle in, it's time for you to double down on your interview prep. Thanks to COVID, the interview duration has anyway come down by 10 to 20%. Your interview has every possibility of lasting only about 10 minutes, but don't let this bog you down. As we say, you are the master of this selection process, not the other way around. Hear out from the very best of the current batch of students at India's top P schools, also voted as the most employable graduates by InsideIIM's Best 30 competition. In this video, you will learn how you can exactly do that. Treat this as a starter. The booster dose is on its way.
So talking about my interview experience, actually, even though when I went in, I was a little scared, like what is going to come up, but it was very delightful, frankly. And they were very friendly, and it felt more like they wanted to know you and they wanted to know about what your likes, dislikes were, and how engaging you are, more than trying to grill you. So overall, though it was very diverse, the interview, they spoke about a range of topics, but it was very delightful. It was more like an engaging conversation rather than actually something that they're trying to grill me, or how they talk about it's like a scary interview process. It wasn't like that actually.
Clarity, communication and confidence is what they want in your speech while you are doing an interview, and this is same for B school and the other interviews as well.
They don't expect you to know everything about all the things, but then you should have some opinion about it. You should not run entirely blank, and even if you don't know the answer, the more important thing is you should be confident and maintain your composure.
You have to prepare very rigorously, like it's a matter of life and death. But when you go to the interview, you really have to calm your nerves, because then if you take that pressure along with you, it'll really not work for you. And for the preparation, frankly, I just started reading about topics and stuff that interested me, and eventually started building a book where I had all of the GK topics or things that interested me, and I kept revisiting them whenever I got time.
Interviews are interaction, so you can't predict an interaction, and preparation for interaction or an interview needs to be holistic. So whether you have a call from, whether it be colleges from top IIMs, CAP IIMs, XLRI or NMIMS SIBM, the preparation will be more or less same, because the panelists will be the professors, faculties or senior members, and you will be the same person. Nothing will be changing other than the institute. So preparation specifically as a fresher is from the perspective of the panelists, what I feel is they try to get the seriousness as how good you are as a candidate by judging you on the basis of how you good were in your undergraduation. In undergraduation, not only academically, like in terms of technical knowledge, but in terms of your positions of responsibilities or extracurricular activities which you have done. So on these angles, if you will prepare in terms of like positions of responsibility or different roles or events you have organized in your undergraduation, and able to prepare a good narrative and present it well in front of the panelists, at the same time have a basic idea about if you are an engineer, if you have a basic idea about the branch in which you are pursuing an engineering, will definitely be an add-on to prove your mettle in terms of as a good candidate.
The first question that they put up usually is, tell me about yourself. I have 2 years of experience. So most of the questions I was asked was around my experience. Now, if you are a fresher, then most of the questions will be from your academics.
Apart from the CV part, like the resume, the work ex details, they grilled into everything. And also they try to put you in a situation where you actually are like compelled to contradict yourself. So they kind of try to trap you with the interesting conversations and contradicting opinions. They try to probably put you in a trap. But then I think one thing that always works out is, no matter what, you should always maintain your calm and composure. What I was asked upon was my industry work although it was only 10 months, but they really grilled me on what kind of competitors are there in the industry, what do they do, what are the latest trends in that industry. Apart from that, there were quite a lot of GK questions to answer the second question as well. So they asked me who developed the internet, what were the team of scientists consisting upon. So I did my graduation from NITIE Surat. So they asked me a lot of questions about Surat, how is the city, how's the administration, the history about it.
The panelist just says, just tell me about yourself, and by that time they're glancing through your documents or your profile and the way you will introduce. And as most of us are engineers and specifically having more or less similar profiles, so if you will include something which is very different as a candidate, for example, if you are good at some sports, if you are good at particularly some new hobby or something. For example, me, I was more into radio jockeying, so that was an X factor which differentiated me from other candidates who were lined up in the panel. So that thing definitely catches attention from the panelists, and they go ahead and discuss more about that, because from their perspective, when something different comes up, they would like to know more about it, right? And one more benefit of getting discussed, the things in which you are good at, is like it's your area compared to the panelist. You are more comfortable in sharing that thing. So if you are driving the discussions towards those areas at which you are good at, will be definitely an add-on, and overall the experience, the feel of the as a candidate will be better than other people. So try to include those stuff which are little interesting, which are different, which are little different for you compared to other candidates.
We do not have to fake anything, because if we fake anything, they have that much of the knowledge that they can pinpoint it at any moment. So that would be the biggest mistake, that if a person does, that is to fake any part of your profile. So just do not do that. Nobody knows where you will be after 5 years. Even the professors do not expect you to be very sure of where you will be after 5 years. You don't have to put flying saucers, which we say that after 5 years I'll do this, I'll do that, I'll be an area sales manager or a zonal sales manager. It's not very, yes, you can be there, but they just want a very feasible answer. So see, after 5 years, if you are entering a B school right now, after 5 years, you will be most probably, you would have completed 3 years in a particular organization. So 3 years means 1 year of empty period and 2 years in your role. So you will be very much aware about your role. You will be aware about the cross-functional roles, how you will be dealing with the other departments you are dealing with, and then slowly you might be able to grow more.
It really doesn't go against you in an interview. I think when you're in that interview, you really have to judge that the question that has come, there'll be two things. Either you can make a very close estimated guess to that answer, or you can't. So that is a judgment call that you should take there and there in the interview. But I really don't think that an I don't know or probably something that you can't recall goes against you. It's better to have a very close guess or not answer completely, rather than, as you said, fluffing something or giving something that might work against you. I don't know is a much safer option, frankly.
So if it's very personal to you and it's very close to you, like it's assume it to be like you are knowing it. But if it's like a general knowledge or current affair thing, then it's completely fine. Like everyone doesn't know like everything, right? So if you're not able to like say that, you can say I don't know that particular thing. Can I make an intelligent guess? And you can just try it out if something is in the back of your mind.
A very safe answer, would I think, and I have many a times said, I have also used it, is you can say, sir, I'm not really sure about it, but this is as per my best of my knowledge. Or otherwise you can say, sir, I'm not really sure about it. Very simply you can say that.
So I was fairly good at my extracurriculars while also being reasonably good in my academics, and I felt that post your MBA, the sort of job opportunities and the things that you do sort of required you to be more of an all-rounder rather than being, an exceptional cricketer or a guitar player or just really good at one thing.
I had 3 years of work ex with HPCL, so when the panel was asked, I was a little bit honest in this particular part. I told them that I joined a PSU hoping that I get a lot of things to learn, but in the initial, after 1-2 years, the learning part has really faded. I thought like it would be really helpful for me, and because like when your job is like it has become like daily like rote kind of thing. So I thought like it would be better to do MBA. So I was honest on this part. I told them that I wanted to have my learning going on, and I also told them that there will be very good prospects rather than just having some sedentary life in PSU. So that's how like I went about it, and they were like pretty convinced with respect to this particular part.
besides academics, all these institutions will also test you out on your extracurricular activities and even your academic achievements. So like whatever you have done, you need to know inside out, and you can expect questions from anything. So like for example, it will also depend on the kind of hobby you have. So for example, if my hobby is quizzing, then I need to have a strong understanding of current affairs and general knowledge. And when I'm saying creative writing, then I need to specify whether it's fiction or non-fiction, who my favorite author is. So like I can't even restrict to only foreign authors. So like I can't say only John Grisham. I also need to know who my favorite Indian author is. So suppose your sport is basketball, so you can't say your favorite superstar is LeBron James. You also need to know who your favorite Indian basketball player is, because you never know, the panelist might have played basketball in his younger days. So if you are writing something as your hobby and if you have some exceptional achievement in that, it's expected that you can answer this kind of questions. Knowing about your extracurricular activities will help you to guide the conversation. So if you can, like in your introduction, introduce 1 or 2 lines of your hobbies, you know the follow-up question will come on that.
What I understood was it is really important to know yourself before you walk into such an interview, right? And when you know yourself, the psychometric things becomes, very easy for you, and it becomes consistent. What they look for is the consistency in your answers. Now, one question can be asked to you in 3 or 4 different ways, and if you give different answers, that shows that maybe you are faking around, you don't know yourself, or you are trying to be someone who you are not, right? And they'll just find it out during the group interviews. What you need to show is that you are ready with your answers, you are understanding what the discussion is going around, and you are also empathetic, and you are also understanding what the others are saying, basically, because the next question could come to you, and if you're not sure about it, that shows that you are not fit for SPJIMR, or you don't have those listening skills. So you need to portray that, and they will find out. Obviously WorkX is something that they look at, and and there's not too much of technical questions, to be very honest, during the group interview 1 or 2. In group interview 2, and group interview 1 is eliminatory, basically. Group interview 2 is basically more around ethics and situations, which you have this SOP, a form that you fill, basically, and there are answers that you have written. They will pick up points from that, and they'll study your profile, and they'll ask you questions based on that. And you have to show that same personality as you would have shown in your answers.
We hope this video has helped you jumpstart your preparation. Watch out for our next video to fine-tune. Best of luck.